Alright, this Ask Misty is going to be a couple Ask Misties in one. The first Ask Misty is from a little drag queen who is a part of a very large drag family. And she feels that she is the weakest link of the family. And she wants to know how to step up her game. First of all, that's why I don't like to give out last names. When I first started doing drag, the name I had before Misty Eyez was a house name in Oklahoma. And I quickly changed it because the rumor of someone pushing someone off an 8-story building, pushing off a drug dealer, and I didn't want to be associated with that. So it's like, ooh, changing the name. And I learned back then that you don't want to be associated to that. Granted, they could be pageant girls, but if they're psychotic, whatever. So I think that you should have your own name and be your own person. But a lot of people, especially when they first start, they really want that sense of belonging, or that, oh, I'm a part of this. And the better you get, the more you realize you have to learn. And it's the opposite, because when we first start, we think we're amazing. Oh my gosh, I'm the best drag queen ever. I should win this contest. Oh my god, I'm so amazing. And then when we get really good, we're like, ugh, do I have what it takes? Are they going to be happy? And then I wake up all the time thinking, God, please help me be the star that these people think I am. Alright, back to your question, sorry. What can you do? Well, every day you start to do drag. I don't know if I have straight up advice. The best way to step up your game and make your family proud is by really applying yourself. Be the best you that you can be. Every day do your makeup better. Try new things. Every day do better lip sync. Perfect every part of your being. You know, be like, yeah, I do really good hair. I do really good makeup. You know, don't rely on your name. Like, let's say you're in the house of mirror. You're in the house of mirror, and if you just walk into the club and you're like, hi, I'm a mirror. I'm the daughter of Miss Mirror, and I'm a mirror. And I'm fierce because I'm a mirror. Wrong. Bad answer. You're not fierce because you're in the house of mirror. Being a mirror does not make you fierce. In fact, many people are going to look at you and expect you to be even more fierce because you're a mirror. You. Now, the part of being a big drag family, a part of being any drag family or any drag group, a lot of times drag queens secretly are jealous. And a lot of times drag queens secretly sabotage their sisters because they want to be the fiercest one. So, oh, Mama, you look sickening. And they're not helping you. They're just being a yes men. You don't want yes men in your life. You want people to be like, no, fix that hair, fix that outfit. And you could, that looks cute, but let's try this instead. And that's what you have to seek out. You really are going to need to seek out people that truly help you. You know, and the mother, I think the mother in the house of mirror, or whatever house you're in, will definitely want you to be a good representation of her. So pull her off to the side and be like, how can I be better? What can I do? Because, I mean, for my drag kids, unless they cut to me and say, really, tell me what I'm fucking up, I'm not going to say, girl, you know, this is obvious. Like, Mama, you're Misty Eyez' daughter and you're not wearing eyelashes? That's a given. But, again, I don't give up my last name for that reason. This Ask Misty is from someone who just broke up with their boyfriend. And I guess it was a bad breakup. But when they broke up, his boyfriend said that he was a whore and he was really loose and he was going to get HIV or AIDS and blah blah blah. Well, come to find out, his boyfriend is now HIV positive and has secluded himself and going through it. And this person wants to know if he should contact him and or what he should do because their relationship ended badly. I use this analogy a lot. When I'm feeling fat, or especially when I was growing up my mother felt fat, she would point out people that were really fatter than her. Or sometimes not even fatter, just fat. Like, oh, look at them, they are so fat. You know, growing up, it really started to irritate me. I'm like, Mom, just because you're calling her fat doesn't mean you're skinny. It doesn't work that way. Him calling you a whore and calling you loose doesn't make him pristine, you know? And it's called projecting. A lot of times people want other people to carry the burdens that they are carrying, you know? And it sucks. But back to your question, if your relationship ended badly, I'm not sure that I would contact him. I'm not sure of all the steps that someone has to go through in grief, but I know it goes something like anger, betrayal, sadness, depression, things like that. And I think it must be much more like that when you're dealing with your own illness. You know, like even cancer and things like that. You know, you go through the phase where you're suicidal and, you know, you're scared and you're mad, and then you get pissed off and you get depressed. And I'm not sure what phase he's in, and or if it's a good time to talk to him, especially if your relationship ended badly. But you can, you know, eventually he's going to realize that with medication and taking care of yourself, you can live a long, long time. And, you know, he's eventually not going to be as miserable and sad, you know, and he's not going to need someone to be there for him like you are implying that you want to be. But I don't see anything wrong with you writing him an email or sending him a note or a thank you card, but not thank you, but like a thinking of you card, and to be like, hey, I just want you to know that our relationship ended badly, but I'm still one of your friends. You know, I just ended a relationship, and, you know, at first it's awkward to hang out, but I genuinely care for this person. Otherwise I would never dated him in the first place. Granted, I don't want to be with him, not in a romantical sense, but I'm perfectly comfortable being friends. We can hang out and have a good time together. It doesn't mean that, you know, I don't know what I'm trying to say. There's nothing wrong with you contacting him and saying, hey, I know shit happened between us, but I still think of you as a friend, and if you ever need someone, I'm still there. Ignore the fact that he said you're a whore and would catch HIV, because I'm sure that he knows that he messed up. Alright, this Ask Misty is from somebody that is now 100% woman. They started transitioning at 15 and got their surgery at 18. This person now lives 100% as a woman and wants to know if it's wrong that she feels she is no longer a part of the gay community. I don't think that it's wrong, no. First of all, it's never wrong to feel anything. Your feelings are your feelings. I can't tell you how to feel, you know, and you should never feel bad for feeling what you feel. You might need to think about why you feel that way, but as far as feeling like you're a straight woman, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think that if you are now 100% woman and, you know, you transitioned when you were 15 and now you're 34, you've been functioning as a woman for 20 years. There's nothing wrong with you not thinking you're a gay man and not thinking you're part of the bisexual, transgendered, gay, lesbian. There's nothing wrong with the fact that you no longer feel a part of the GLBT community. Technically you are. You will always be a T. Because you have transitioned. You were born genetically a male and now you're a woman, yes. But you're always going to be a T. And I can only imagine that if you were to have a boyfriend or a husband or a life partner, that he would be a straight man because you have a vagina, right? Unless you're like freakishly tall and whatever. You know, if you transitioned that early, you basically transitioned before you develop any of your masculine characteristics. You don't have the masculine anything, frame or face or features of any kind. You still have your boyish body, which was stopped with your testosterone blockers, etc. So I don't think that you should beat yourself up for this. No. You know, granted, you will always be a part of our community, and I know several women that are full-time women. I'm not sure if they're post-op or not, and some of them I had no idea were trans women. One of my friends has been a friend of mine. She comes to the shows all the time throwing money at us. I had no idea she was trans until I saw her on a transsexual escort site. I was like, what is she doing on here? I thought she was a real woman. I had no idea. None. I was gagged. But my point is, if nobody around you knows that you're trans, there's no need to flaunt it. You know? You don't have to get up every day and say, hey everyone, I'm gay and proud and I'm used to be a man. You know, that is something that is your business. And your life partner's business if you have one. And even if you've been functioning 20 years with a vagina, or almost 20 years with a vagina, I don't even know if he needs to know that you had a penis at one time. It's probably not his business either. Except for when he starts to ask about your childhood and things like that, it might get a little confusing. But no, don't beat yourself up. You know, but just like me, I am very accepting and loving of the straight community. And when a straight person comes into my shows or whatever, I'm like, oh, don't be nervous. We all like straight people. Thanks to you, we have gay kids. So, you know, I think that you should have that same affection towards the gay community since that is where you came from. But don't beat yourself up, I guess is my answer. You're fine. You have created a new life for yourself. You know, you don't have to go to the gay pride parades and things. You know. But always remember that if you ever need the gay community, we're always going to be here for you. But don't worry. Don't beat yourself up. You know, and if you are feeling guilty or sad, then I would look into the reflection of your mirror and say, why? Why am I feeling this way? And then, you know, if you are really feeling guilty, then you need to start going out and, you know, going to the clubs. I wouldn't even tell people. Like, this trans woman that I just saw on the site, she never told me she was trans. Maybe she thought that I knew, but I didn't. So just go out and have fun. Gay guys love women. Just go have a good time. They don't have to know you used to be a guy. Just go have fun. Love yourself. That's all. It doesn't matter if you feel part of our community or not. You know, but if things come up and, you know, you're fighting for gay rights in City Hall and things like that, I don't think that you need to be there in the front lines, but maybe you should put your signature on petitions every once in a while. How about that? It'll make you feel better. Anyways, that was an Ask Misty, or several. Alright, loving you is easy.